Hi, Leather Rokk here. Welcome to my channel. I hope you aren't bothered by the fan sound right next to me. It is hot as Hades in my room. Summer has officially begun, and if I don't have this fan going, I'm just going to melt right in front of your very eyes. I don't think you want to see that, do you? But maybe you want to see this. What do you think? The makeup job? I'm going to show you how to do it if you stick around. But first, I want to show you something else. What do you think of my plants here? These are going to be inserted into my garden. Unfortunately, I already have deposited a few plants in the garden, and I watered them, and then the very next day they shriveled up and died. So I don't even know if I'm really going to even have a garden this year. I thought that I had this green thumb, and my plot is like across the street, and the beans are dead. And the thing is, I don't have a whole lot of light coming into the room that I'm using as my grow room until the seedlings get big enough, you know, to transplant. So they finally get big enough, I think, then I put them out there, and I can't seem to get enough water in them, even though I'm hauling all these jugs. And anyway, I'm just really bummed out about that. And the neighbors have been driving us crazy with all the loud noise, and the cops don't seem to get them to shut up. And my roommate went down and couldn't get them to shut up, and finally a half hour later I went down there and I said, look, my bedroom is right up here. Are you guys going to keep me up all night? I was afraid I was going to end up in jail for hitting somebody. That's how bad it is around here. But anyway, on to the makeup. That's what you're tuned in for, I'm sure. Now I'm gonna tie my hair up. Oh, and there are no cats in my room right now. They both left. I tried to retrieve Tabby Boy at least. He ran down the hall. I tried to get Cassie. Cassie is on my roommate's bed, and I can't even go in that room. So this is going to be a cat-free video, unless by chance somebody comes in my room while I'm filming, in which case maybe we'll be lucky to have the sign-off with the cats. So, do I look like I'm melting to you? I mean, can you see all this sweat? It's for this reason that I'm probably not going to add too much more foundation to this. But I am going to bring it here so you can see the foundation that I'm wearing. This is the Color Mates Compact Makeup. They only comes in 3 shades, light, medium, and dark, and of course I'm wearing the light. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clean my hands with the wet wipe. Oh, it has been so chaotic today. Okay, first thing we're going to do, got my trusty coconut oil here, and set this here. Oh, and another exciting thing happened just before filming. The box that my computer is balanced on fell down, and the computer fell down and crashed down on the floor. Fortunately, the hard drive did not fail, and the camera didn't break and all that stuff, or else we wouldn't be doing this. And needless to say, I don't have a backup computer if anything happens to this. So please keep your fingers crossed that nothing happens to this computer, because I want to keep to my YouTube schedule. And the only thing that would keep me from my YouTube schedule is tech problems. So I got my liquefied coconut oil. Oh, this feels so good. I hope that new mascara that I ordered comes in the mail soon, because this mascara I'm wearing, this and a purple mascara, are the only mascaras I have now. And even though you really shouldn't have a bunch of mascaras open at one time, because mascara has a limited shelf life, I'm not thrilled with this particular mascara. I mean, a mascara shouldn't be dry and gummy so soon after opening it. And it was never not thick and gummy. And for the price I paid, now these mascaras that I ordered, they're from China or Japan or wherever they're from, they are very inexpensive. So, but that said, I hope they're good. But I think you'll love the packaging when you see them. Oh, maybe you're curious as to know what palettes we're using today. I couldn't get both colors, all the colors in one, so we're using two palettes. We're using the B&H Cosmetics Take Me Back to Brazil Rio edition with all these rainbow colors that I love so much. And we're using the Too Faced Cosmetics Then and Now palette that smells like chocolate birthday cake. And you've seen these before. And I know you've seen these before. Oh, this fan feels good. And I feel like I'm wearing too many clothes. I know it doesn't look like I'm wearing too many clothes, but, oh, and you want to see the outfit? There. Oh, that better not fall. These are shorts. My mom got them for me. It says the one and only. I thought it had something in the back. It doesn't. But these are, I guess you call them booty shorts. Yeah. And this, I have a pink fishnet tank like this too, but unfortunately it goes all the way down here. And I tried tying it up using blue rubber bands, the kind that you would use to attach broccoli stalks together, but I didn't do this one high up enough. And this is a belly ring I'm wearing. But on to the makeup. First thing I'm going to do is find that makeup compact so that I can cover my eyelids with it. I'm definitely going to have to get a better stand for this computer because that's the third time it's fallen, and I'm afraid I'm going to have another hard drive failure. And maybe it's a good thing that since I have a solid state hard drive, maybe that's why it's a little more sturdy, because the regular kind of hard drive, that's how the last one broke in Washington DC when I fell and dropped it. Okay, I'm going to use that Playmates makeup, and I'm going to get a nice coating on my eyelid. It didn't have to be that heavy, but this really is an ideal surface if you want something nice and moist and opaque to adhere your eyeshadow. And I'm going to do a little bit underneath also. You know, nice thing about really not having fingernails, you could reach in and do that. I used to care so much about growing my nails long, but you can't play guitar with long nails, you know. And okay, first thing we're going to do, well, you've seen how I like to keep my brushes that I'm using there. Let's set this down. First thing we're going to do, and I did the orders a little different than I often do. I'm not using the matte white above the eyebrow again, but here's what I am going to do. I'm going to dip into the B&H Cosmetics Take Me Back to Brazil, and I'm going to use a big fluffy brush from B&H Cosmetics, and I'm going to dip it into this bright light blue right here. Get it good covering, and I'm going to go right into the corner of my eye. Just wiggle it is really all you need to do. Okay, then going to get this brush here. It's a two-sided brush from Avon. At the bottom, this part here is like for eyeliner, and this is for eyeshadow. And I'm going to dip into this gorgeous bright green right here. And this brush has a flatter side and a pointier side, and I'm actually going to touch it, pat it to the flat side, and then I'm going to pat this on the eyelid. You know what? I'm going to pat it a little bit more on this side too, because I want the eyes to match. And this has been on longer. Actually, this eyeshadow has been on since about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's now 4:39 a.m. I wanted to get an earlier start to filming, but the racket next door, there is just no way. I'm patting instead of sweeping, because it's a very sticky surface. When you're dealing with a very sticky surface, it's better to pat than to sweep. Now we're taking, this is a Vivace brush that I got from the 99-cent store. And the next color that we're going to use is from the Too Faced palette. The Too Faced palette has a dark sparkly green that's called Lost Boys. And I'm going to tap it and press it, get nice coating. And now I'm going to go to the outer corner, and I'm going to touch the corner, and I'm going to sweep up a little bit first, and hopefully it's the same angle as on the other side. You can use tape, you can use business cards, there's lots of ways that you can get the angles. But the thing is, if you're going to use a business card, I'd kind of think twice about that, because it probably isn't sanitary. Unless you sterilize the corners first, because you really don't want something that's probably been on the ground touching your face. I mean, I won't anyway. Next step is going to be, oh, where's that brush? Oh, here it is. I'm going to go back to the Take Me Back to Brazil palette, and I'm taking another Vivace brush, and this is the kind of brush that you can deposit and you can blend with. This Take Me Back to Brazil palette has two frosty whites. This one has more of a blue-green cast to it. This has more of a pink gold cast. And I'm going to stroke along the brush like this and tap off the excess. And now I'm going to hit the brow bone area. And I'm going to touch right to the edge of the eyebrow. And then I could sweep after that. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side again, just to make sure. Now it seems to me that the eyeshadow here is closer to the edge, so when that happens, all you do is go back to the brushes you had and pat, don't sweep, pat to go a little higher. I'm going to do the same thing with this brush here. Going to lift it up, I'm going to pat. You know what, I'm going to do a little bit more in this corner here, because they do fade a little bit throughout the day, depending on what you use underneath. And I've been experimenting with different things to layer underneath. So a lot of times on top of the creamy makeup like I put on, I'll put something else for the shadow to adhere to. But this makeup actually, it doesn't dry down the way some of the other makeups do. Like, I'll show you as an example. If I were to have just used this underneath the eyeshadow, matter of fact, I'll put this on my wrist to show you. This is the L'Oreal True Match in the color W1 Porcelain, and I'm going to put some on my arm, and I'm going to, okay, now I'm going to let that dry some, and I'm going to, and you're going to notice that there's a difference between this and this on how the eyeshadow might look. If I take the same green that I have on my eye here and see what happens when I put it here as opposed to putting it here. Don't you notice that it's darker on here? Because this is where I used the cream compact only underneath it. Here is where I used this foundation only underneath it. And see, this foundation does dry more, and so it isn't as sticky, whereas this keeps for a sticky surface. So if you're going to use just your foundation like this on your eyelid, then I do recommend an additional tacky surface for your eyeshadow. And you can use something like this e.l.f. glitter glue, or you can use the B&H Cosmetics base booster, or you can also use well, like I like to use the Ben Nye cream color compacts, the white face you can also use, or they have a color called cream highlight that you can also use, and they again make nice sticky surfaces for the eyeshadow to adhere to. A lot of people though, they like to dust loose powder after the sticky surface and then they do the eyeshadow, but the only problem is the powder makes it so that the shadow doesn't adhere as well. But people like to use powder because that makes it easier to blend the shadow, and it is harder to blend shadows when you're putting them on a sticky surface. But this really doesn't call for much in the way of blending. Okay, I could see that this needs to go out here more. Does that look better? I think this still needs to go up a little bit higher. If you need to do some blending, just use a fluffy brush. I'm just touching the edge of the surface to the edge here. A little bit of blending. One thing I don't care for about this green in this Too Faced compact is that when I first bought it, at least before it arrived in the mail, I thought that it was going to be a brighter color, and this purple here I thought was going to be brighter, and they're really not. So, but I don't regret getting the palette. Okay, time for eyeliner. Today I finally opened up, this is the LA Colors Automatic Eyeliner. This is very, very similar to the previous automatic eyeliner that I had that was actually put out by the same company as a foundation. The other eyeliner I had was Colormates, and this is LA Colors. And even though I'm really disappointed in a lot of the LA Colors eyeshadows, especially their frosty eyeshadows, I probably won't be buying any more from LA Colors as far as their Dollar Tree eyeshadows, because I really kind of am disappointed in them. But this eyeliner, and it's only $1, these I will definitely get again, any brand, because it's, hey, it's black eyeliner, and it seems like it's good stuff. I'm going to draw a thin line along the base of my lashes. One main difference between this and the Colormates eyeliner, the Colormates eyeliner went on a little bit more smoothly. This feels a little bit drier, but it still shows up fine. You know, another thing that really gets on my nerves about, and it's not just a summertime thing, year round I seem to have this problem. And I don't hear other YouTubers and other makeup people complaining about it, but I have such a problem with, and I think it's the eyeliner more than the mascara. If I don't wear foundation, this doesn't happen, but if I wear foundation, the eyeliner, even if I don't have anything on the bottom lash, it still smudges and makes the raccoon eyes. And the more moist surfaces I have, the moister my skin is, the worse it gets, and it drives me crazy. I could be already out the door and the last thing I'll put on would be the mascara, and it starts with the raccoon eyes thing, and then I go and I fix the smudge, and then I end up having to add more foundation because I end up rubbing my foundation off. And so then what happens is the moist foundation then makes it raccoon again. And it can happen 3, 4, 5 times. And meanwhile, I'm later going out the door than I want to. And it's really frustrating. I think it depends on the kind of eyeliner I'm using. The drier it is, the better. And I'm sure maybe the oils in the foundation make it smudge too. It's really unnerving. And I think somebody one time suggested a little bit of loose powder would stop it from happening, but then I find the loose powder makes it harder to clean up your mistakes. You can't just wipe off the smudge when you have powder. And you certainly don't want to stretch that thin skin around the eyes, because it gets to a point where it's not going to stretch back, and that's why you get your fine lines and wrinkles, and you don't want that. So you really don't want to stretch that skin. See? Oh God! Now I just removed some of my foundation, so I'm going to put a little bit back. This is the blush I'm using. It's not from any of those compacts. This is an old Artmatic blush that I've had so long. I'm pretty sure I bought it after 9/11, so it means I'm pretty sure I bought it in a dollar store in New Jersey. But it smells fine. I'm sure you're not supposed to hold on to powder makeups for decades at a time, but I do. I'm not going to reapply it because I already have it on my face, and I have sweat on my face. I really don't want to be touching brushes or thing to it, but I did a streak here, and I did a streak here. Then for my highlight, I used the black B&H Cosmetics Blacklight highlight palette, and I used this blue shade here, and the name for it is Kween, but they don't spell it the right way. They have to be cute and spell it Kween. Use the same brush, and I just hit the edge of it like this, and hit cheekbones here. You know what? I forgot to do this because it's so sweaty. Figured it would look ridiculous. See, I don't want to touch it to here again because it'll just touch my. Can you see the sweat? It is seriously hot in here. Hot, hot, hot. And I'm going to take the hair down. Okay, there you have it. Oh, lipstick. This is something that I got from Wish.com. This is a Chinese import. The company is called Soo Ligur. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. This is, I'm going to hold the logo up to the camera. Can you see that? And the color doesn't have a name. It just has the number 2 on it. And as you can see, it's purple. And one thing I really like about this lipstick is I'm kind of a little bit tired of the matte trend. And this is not a matte. This is a moist, creamy formula. It's not a frost, it's a cream. It's a very nice, bright color. And it smells a little bit chemical, but it doesn't taste chemical. It doesn't taste rancid or anything. And it's purple, so of course I like it. Do I have my... Okay, I wanted to show you my eyebrow color. I'm using that powder color again. But when my computer fell, I believe some of the makeup fell also, and I don't see that powder color close by, so I can't show you. But I showed you in previous videos. It's actually from B&H Cosmetics. It is a sparkly powder, and I guess they think it's supposed to be purple, and it is kind of, but it's not very bright. And I really didn't care for it as an eyeshadow, but it's an okay eyebrow color, but it is not waterproof. So don't wear something like this if you're going to go swimming, or if you're going to shower with a friend, or even if it's an occasion where you are going to sleep in makeup because you've got company. You know, it's not waterproof. But if you want something that's easy on, easy off, if you're going to put on makeup and run to 7-Eleven and then go home and go to bed afterwards, you know, it's good for that. So, okay. That's the makeup job. If you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you like me and my content, I'd love to have you subscribe. I make new videos 3 times a week for your viewing pleasure. I usually have cats in them, but I guess it wasn't to be today. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye.